Hello, and welcome to Dawn's Craft Riot. It is August 15th. There was no show last week, but of course there's a recording of the week before that, so I apologize for that. And today's show is going to be a little bit weird. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Fab, Vince, everybody, guest, everybody who's trying to get in and watching from the sidelines. Welcome, welcome. So, as many of you may know, I live in British Columbia, Canada, and right now it is a dry time, and we've been having crazy weather where it's been very, very hot and dry, and then that alternates with extreme thunder shower activities. So, a giant set of thunderstorms rolled through last evening and lit a whole bunch of fires around, which got me thinking about packing an emergency bag. For one, not only got me thinking about, but I did in fact pack an emergency bag. And that got me thinking about if I had the time and it wasn't a jeopardy to my own health or the health of others around me, what craft supplies would I want to save if given the opportunity, if I had to evacuate my home for whatever reason. So I wanted to let you guys know. I wanted to let you guys weigh in on what some of your favorite craft supplies or save-worthy craft supplies are. And I want to start by showing you this mixed media journal. I bought 3 of these on an amazing sale for the price of one. Blurry, blurry, blurry. They're huge, but I very likely would not replace these if they should happen to burn up in a fire. Come on, you can not blur, can't you? Those are words. You should be able to focus on words, camera. Come on, camera. Seriously? That's crazy. There we go, there we go. There we go. Yeah, that was a great sale I managed to catch back when I was doing my 40th birthday shopping spree, which was the gift my husband gave me. The white curse, yes, of the blur. Anyhow, so because I got these on such a great deal, and because I don't think that, like, I think they're great. They're great bases for doing a lot of work. I've packed these in a bag already. Yeah, my camera hates white surfaces, absolutely. And I always forget. So I've got 2 of these packed in a bag. I actually have a 3rd one, but I haven't popped it in here yet. And I think in that bag, I'm also going to put, many of you have seen this little number, or large number. I think I'm going to put my trimmer in there too. Now I'm going to leave, like, I don't think that I'm going to be evacuated. I really don't, but because of just how many fires started in that thunder shower, in like one set of thunder showers last night, I would rather be safe than sorry. So just having this packed, I'm going to keep it in my craft room so that I can use it, obviously. But I think for the whole fire season, maybe I'll just have this in a bag with that stuff. So my trimmer, super important and kind of expensive. Like, it cost me quite a lot and I had to ship it from across the country. So another thing that I'm going to pack in there is my brayer for my gelatin plate. So go for items that are no longer manufactured. That's a smart idea. I had a hard time finding a brayer. So I'm actually going to keep my brayer. I'm going to pop it in the bag, but I'm going to leave my gelatin print. Now, I don't expect, even if we are evacuated, that our home would be actually in jeopardy, although it's a possibility. I'm not going to rule it out. But I have a homemade gelatin plate, as many of you know, and if it should happen to burn up in the fire, which I can't even imagine, melt would be more likely, then I'll make a new gelatin plate, or I'll buy a gelatin plate, or what, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to worry about that. It's too hard to try and save that. Wear that as a necklace. You could. My gelatin plate is sort of unwieldy. It's not in a package because it's homemade, and so, you know what I mean? Like, that's something that would be more difficult to save. Another thing I'm going to put in my bag are my Tim Holtz scissors, because, again, an expensive item. And speaking on expensive and something that's super handy, another thing that is expensive and super handy, please understand when I say expensive, it's relatively expensive. To me, I found it to be an expense that I had to save up for. So, my corner chomper. I love the corner chomper. So I'm just going to chuck those things right into my bag right now. And I think the other things I'm going to want to save are maybe, or chuck in there, maybe some glue, some tape, although those are things I can pick up elsewhere. I have the fancy Staedtler pens, you know, a few things that are small, but I don't want to, like I could put my whole set of markers in there, but my distress markers, but it takes up so much space. And Vince was saying stamps, and I'll show you what I do have sitting here with my stamps in it. Not all of my stamps, but all of my clear stamps are in this box, in this tub. So yes, corner chomper is a must. Am I right, or am I right? So I do have this box of acrylic stamps, and I think that if given the chance, I would also grab this. And I do have on my desk my Versamark and my archival ink. So actually, that's a great one, Fab. Your external hard drive, and that is on my list of things to grab if we have a short time, like if we're given, you know, half an hour or a day or whatever it is, depending on, you know, like I say, I don't think we'll be evacuated, but I'm not discounting the possibility, and I think it's better to be safe than sorry. And one of the things on my list that Fab just mentioned is an external hard drive, and I have got so many items saved on my external hard drive. It's almost completely full. That is one of the things. It has all your backups, exactly. So that is one of the things I would definitely grab. You just, yeah, exactly. You just grab your external hard drive and you are good to go. You can plug that into the new computer you have to get if your house burns down. Please understand I'm not asking for these things to happen. I'd just rather have an idea of what could happen so I can be prepared. So I have my piece of paper here. I'm going to watch for suggestions. If anybody thinks of something that is like really on my list of things, I'm going to write it on my sheet because I'm going to prepare this. Photos, exactly. If you've got your photos on your external hard drive, you're all good to go. I feel like there's a system. This is what I'm going to work on today from the Wreck-It Journal. I feel like there's a system. There's like your life is most important, then things you need to live like food and water and some clothes, and then your items of like, you know, heirlooms or whatever that you feel are important, that, you know, like those are down on the list, but they are on the list. So, and upload the pictures to the cloud. Yes, that is a smart way to do things. Just going to grab a sip of coffee, and then I'm going to actually start making something. I think taking pictures of your valuables is a great idea for your insurance. And I think that's something that's smart to do, whether you think that there's a possibility of evacuation for whatever reason, or, you know, I just think that that's a smart idea. Take photos of all your stuff, and then you can show them to your insurance agent if you need to, you know, if you get to that point and you have to replace things, you've got photos of what you had. I think that's smart. All right, so like I said before I started broadcasting, which none of you watching the recording will have heard, I did not get anything together for the show last night. Normally on Friday I'm making a plan, sometimes before that, but if not before that, Friday I make my plan of what I'm going to make. And last night I was busy just packing emergency supplies and putting them by the door, and actually being quite vigilant and watching out the windows because of the storm, to see, you know, just to make sure that there weren't other fires starting closer. So I decided that I still wanted to have the show, obviously, and I thought, what can I do? And I thought, well, let's open the Wreck-It Journal and see if there's something that we can work on. Oh, yes, certainly. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat here, but yes, if somebody bangs on my door and tells me that there's an evacuation alert or order, I am gonna have to shut down the show and go. I love you guys, but I'd rather be around to do another show in future. So, but don't panic about that. Like I say, I've had a look. I've been watching the maps, the fire maps vigilantly, and unless the fire starts really, like a new fire starts, we're still still in the safe zone, and at least till the end of the show, I'm sure it'd be perfectly fine because there's some distance from us. But yes, yes, if I should have to, definitely my life is a #1 key for me. So, but let's go on with crafting because oh, the one fire, they're both about 10 or 12 kilometers from me on the same mountain, on the same side of the mountain. They don't have to cross any road, or I mean maybe a road, but not, they don't have to cross a highway or anything like that. They're I mean, if I were a bird, I could fly straight there from here. It'd be like 10 kilometers. So they're around, but they're both very small. Actually, even the third one on the mountain that's further away is very small, and I'm sure they're on top of it. They've got them on their interactive map, which means that the firefighters are aware and whatever, so I'm sure they're on top of it. So let's do what this page says, which is fill this page with circles, because aside from also wanting to do something on the show, I wanted to do something that was relaxing, because what I don't need to do is be all panicky. If I'm in panic mode, that doesn't help anybody, and certainly not me. So I've definitely been in like, it's clear out. I can see it's like, it smells like smoke. It smells like wood burn, but it is clear out. So I've been in much worse situations in that I've been in places where you open the door and you can't see for smoke, and we still weren't evacuated. So I'm really not worried about it. I was worried about it when there was active lightning last night, but I'm not really worried about it today. But I am still kind of discombobulated, as I was saying. So just want to do something soothing and calming and relaxing. What's more calming and relaxing than filling a page with circles? Exactly, exactly. Crafting can be very soothing, especially if you're not trying to measure things out and, mat things exactly perfectly. Although that can also be calming. I think this is going to be a little bit more free-form, a little bit more flowy. So I have these stencils that I made for the gelatin plate, and I figure why not, pardon me, do some stenciling. I also think we could take some punches and punch some circles out. Don't forget to take I can buy marshmallows. Not really a huge fan of marshmallows. I mean, they have their place, don't get me wrong. Oh yeah, so let's not start with this. Let's start by cutting circles out. So I have this paper that I purchased from Cartabella paper, I believe it is. Of course, I got it upside down here. And of course, I'm never going to remember the name of it. But I printed it off. It's a digital. Actually, Brian's in Vernon. I told him that if we get evacuated, I will text him. He's at work. I really don't think we're going to get evacuated. But anyhow. But yes, I will meet up with Brian for sure. So this is Cartabella paper, and I can't remember what set it came from. They recently had it on their Half Price Wednesdays or Dollar Wednesdays. There's great sentiments, but there's also references to games. So this particular one was circles that matched up really nicely with my, oh, that's not the one, with the 1 3/8 punch. So I'm going to punch out some circles from here. Maybe some ones I haven't done yet. Let's see if I can. I might have to cut the paper down. Also, the punch is a little bit bigger than my circles, so I'm trying to not do ones that are right next to each other. I am going to have to cut into my paper. Just to get close enough. I really want a yellow one. I don't know. Maybe I can get in there now. Pretty close. Close enough that if I bend the other paper on the edges, it'll cut. So I'm just centering it in there the best I can. Doesn't really matter. You can glue them down anyways. Alright, I'll leave the edge. And the other thing I wanted to cut circles out of, got most of those out, is of my gelatin prints. Actually, these are not gelatin prints so much as, sorry, I've got a tub beside me here, so much as where I rolled my brayer off. Hello, Billy. Hello, Robin. I'm working in a Wreck-It journal today. I'm trying to calm myself down amidst fear of fire in my region. I really like how this layers up. I think I might add that in. But I don't know. Anyhow, maybe I should just move that to the side and use it on a different project. Oh yeah, here's something I found while I was looking for circles. Gelatin printing on stickers, which were circles. So I think maybe I'll use some of those circles. So I'll move that aside. Oh, here's some good paper. I just want to cut some circle shapes out of some interesting paper. Some of these are gelatin prints. That one's printed paper. And some of them are just brayer rub-offings, brayer roll-offs. I don't know. That's pretty neat. Let's use some of this black and white paper as well. Let's start with that. That's probably way more than I need anyway. Yeah, we had, I live in BC. I don't know what part of Canada you're in, Robin, but I live in BC, and we're having a tinder dry summer, and we had thunder showers roll through the region, and so many new fires started overnight. I'm 10 kilometers from 2 different fires. And that's pretty fun. So I'm just relaxing with some filling a page with circles. So I'm cutting some circles first. Who knows which ones we'll use and which ones we won't. Or how it will turn out, or any of that. I really don't know. I'm just trying to go with the flow. Alright, let's get some different paper. What will I do with that? Chuck it back in the bin it was in. Why not? Why not? I think I'm going to fold this in half and try and take more than one circle at a time and see what that does. Oh, you're in Ontario. I think a lot of the country is scarily dry. But yeah, no, it's been crazy in BC this year. Although, you could say that almost every year these days. Anyway, don't get me started. Come on, paper. Apparently I didn't crease that well enough. I do like what I'm getting out of here. Come on, hands. Just some really interesting circles. The paint's too thick. Couldn't get my crease small enough. There we go. So I'm lining up on one side and then getting something random from the other side, which is fun. Then I'm going to do some of the bigger circles in here too. Hello, LQ Brock. Welcome. I'm just doing some, ooh, there's stuff on the back side of this paper. I'm just doing some circle cutting. I put some circles inside of my Wreck-It journal. We are often spoiled in BC, and aside from this scary thunder shower which caused a bunch of fires, I mean, we've been on the lake, it's been hot, it's been beautiful. I love this gelatin paper. I love it. I cut out a few more small circles, I think. Actually, I'm going to trim that down and cut out a few more small circles. Just trimmed it down. There's some really interesting areas of pattern on this gelatin printing paper. Hello. Hello to everyone who came in. Alright, I think I can stop the circles. I think I have enough circles to paper my walls at this point. I don't know. Maybe we need a little bit of red. Yeah, I think we have to have a little bit of red. Red with a star in it would be great. We can manage that. Oh, but the pink with a star in it. Super awesome. Pink with the star in it. Sorry, I stopped to read the chat. That's handy for you guys. Oh, forgive me. I am out of sorts today. It's been a weird and crazy time. I'm going to punch this one with a circle hole right in it from the paper hole that was already in it. Come on. Seriously, I know you can focus on that. I know you can. I believe in you. Oh, look at you did it. Woohoo! Okay, that is enough. Now we've got yellow and red. Watch, I won't want to use any of those by the time we get to it. Okay. Nice. Doing gelatin printing while watching. That is awesome. I almost did gelatin printing today. I really, as I was saying earlier, I wanted to do something that was calming and relaxing. I'm going to have a sip of coffee here. I felt like my house shook for a second there. Nothing like a little earthquake to throw you off. Alrighty then. So my plan for this, I've already, as you can see, I've already put some stuff on this page. I don't know when. Over the course of time, I can see that I've cleaned a stencil, a homemade stencil off. Oh, that's another thing. For those of you who have just joined, I'm trying to make a list of things that I'd really like to take with me if I have to evacuate and have some time. So one of the things are, I'm just writing it down because I don't want to forget, are stencils. I have homemade, stay organized, says my paper. I've homemade a bunch of stencils, as you may know. I did say calming. I love gelatin plate printing. I find it very soothing, actually. If you don't find it soothing, I apologize for being confusing, but I find it very soothing. Oh, I've packed. Yeah, never fear. I have a bag by the door ready to go. I've got a jug of water and food and a bag of clothes, and I am ready to go. And we tend to have small earthquakes here, and I live in a like a mobile home or a trailer, so it tends to shake. I mean, not constantly, but it's not an unusual thing, so it just threw me off for a second there when I noticed my TV tray was wobbling. Yeah, there's fault lines all over the place. A little shake now and then is not going to hurt you. But anyhow. So that's one of the things that I do want to take if we have to evacuate is my homemade stencils, and I've got them in a bag beside me already. But this is one of them, and I can see that I've just you know, used this page as a place to put the leftover spray ink I had on it. And then I also drew little tiny circles, and then I can see that I've also got bigger circles going on here. So I live in British Columbia, Canada. So where I live is incredibly safe in that there's mountains, so there's no tornadoes. We don't get hurricanes. We do get earthquakes, but usually small ones. And I'm going to start gluing stuff down, guys. I'm going to start gluing on this page, and this page I want to do sort of like I want to do a stencil, but like a reverse stencil, so I'm just going to keep on going while I chat here. So I'm going to glue down some of these circles that I've just cut out. But, you know, if there was a huge tsunami on the ocean, I live far enough away from that like I've got 2 mountain ranges between me and the ocean, so I'm pretty safe that way. It turns out, I guess we could have landslides because we do live on a mountain, but fire is the most dangerous, I think, the most common thing. Well, we're on the Pacific, and we're straight up from California. There's a lot of fault lines that go up that way. We don't have generally massive earthquakes, but small earthquakes, like little tiny earthquakes, are not uncommon here at all. It's definitely not before I was born. I was in high school. I remember seeing the coverage of that, certainly. No, I remember the 7.1 in California. I remember seeing pictures of Candlestick Park. So it is totally possible that we could have a large earthquake here, but very unlikely, I think, just like because of where I'm situated. I'm just north of Washington, very, very close to Washington State. Oh, you were in Kelowna, and you had to evacuate. Yes. Well, I live 45 minutes away from Kelowna. And right now, between me and Kelowna, there's a forest fire. But it's much closer to me than it is to Kelowna. But it's a small one, so I'm not going to panic about it, as I was saying earlier. There was a massive forest fire about, was it 9 or 10 years ago now? It may have been even 11 years. I can't remember. The older I get, the weirder the passage of time is for me. Oh, I bet. Yeah, the emergency broadcast system. That's loud and scary, and you know something's going on if you hear it. So, oh, I should let you know, I'm using Elmer Craft Bond, not that it really matters in this Wreck-It journal, because the whole point of the Wreck-It journal is to, well, wreck it. I'm on a buying freeze right now, but what I'd really like, I really like the circle punches, but I think what I'd really like is to have one of those hexagonal punches. Then you can make a really neat pattern by punching hexagons out of different paper and putting them all together like a quilt or something. I think that'd be super cool. Well, I'm looking for something to wipe off the top of the glue bottle with, and of course I've put everything's in a weird place. Can't find anything. Here we go. If I reach up here, there's a tiny bit of paper towel left. Oh, well, it's close is so relative. How close is the fire? Close enough that I'm keeping an eye on it, and far enough that I don't have to evacuate yet. I mean, I can't literally keep an eye on it. It is far enough away I cannot see it from here. Of course, I'm inside at my desk, but even from outside I can't see it, because I know, because we checked last night. I think those hexagonal paper compositions can be insanely beautiful. Yes. Indeed, indeed. So, by the way, I don't even know what we're going to end up with by the time we're done here, or if it'll be finished or not. Like I say, I just wanted to do something that I find relaxing and distracting. I should have put that side up. The side I glued on has got some really neat metallic stuff you can't see. Alright, I guess I'm moving on to this page, because I don't want to put it too close to those two. They're the same color. I actually like it on this page very much. When I want everyone to know, like, don't panic just because I'm talking about fire. Don't Don't panic, and don't think I'm panicking. I'm just being prepared. Hello to everyone who came in. Hello to the Ustream bot moderator. I am not working on a project that I'm working on a project that may or may not be finished. I'm not working on a project. I am working on a project that may or may not be finished over the course of this show. It's a Wreck-It journal, and I'm filling this page with circles. I like this little one that says shuffle. Shuffle. Oh, come on. So what's the weather like in your neck of the woods, by the way? Aside from suggestions of things that I should save if I should happen to, well, things I should put in my bag of craft supplies to be saved if possible. If anybody has recommendations for that, that'd be great. But what was the other thing? I was gonna ask you to do something else or say something else, and I don't remember what it was. Did I say it? I don't remember. Sorry. Oh yeah, I asked you what it's like in your neck of the woods, and you're telling me. Perfect. The chat's behind it often is. Breezy in London. That's nice. Apparently I'm putting shuffle and play directly across from each other. Like some kind of weird stuff. Autumn is almost there for you. Nice. It feels like autumn here after the day after we've had a thunderstorm usually, but then it hots back up pretty quick, so to speak. Rain and more rain. Where are you at, Billy? Oh my goodness, 103 degrees in Santa Cruz. Holy smokes. Yeah, I don't care for heat that much either. It's beautiful in Northern Ontario. Yeah, if it were 103 degrees in London, everything would be crazy. Of course, we're talking Fahrenheit here. Oh, yes, and you do need the rain in California. Definitely. But it's been raining. It's been raining where Billy's at, so he must not be in California. Or she. Sorry. I apologize if I've misgendered you in my haste. Yeah, it's been a year of extremes, I'll say that. I'll say that, she says, as if she's not willing to say things. Oh, you're in Northern Ireland, and it's very cold there. Well, very cold. Very cold for summer. 15 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I bet it'd be nice if we could transfer some of that rain. I bet the Californians would be thrilled to have rain. I'd be excited to have rain, especially if it wasn't connected to lightning. So these, I'm sticking my stickers on, guys. It's awesome. It's still just circles, but they're little tiny gelatin plate printed circles. Woohoo! Ah, you're Karen. Awesome. I will do my best to remember that. I have slacked off in my remembering of Ustream handles. I had a list before, but you know, sometimes life changes and you, for some reason, just stop doing things you used to do. I don't know. It just happens sometimes. I love this idea, guys. If you get stickers, like, I wish my brain would work sometimes. If you get stickers in the mail that are advertisements or something like that, you can print them on your gelatin plate. I mean, you can get prettier prints than this. This was one of my earlier attempts, but you can basically make gelatin plate printed stickers by just printing directly onto the fronts of stickers. So I think it's super handy. 15 degrees Celsius, that's a lovely temperature. I could go for 23 degrees Celsius. That'd be nice. Better than the 36 or whatever it's been getting up to around here. A few more stickers and then we'll start applying some other media onto this. Through stencils, maybe. I love stencils. I didn't realize how much I loved stencils until I started working with sprays and the gelatin plate. 17 and 19 degrees Celsius. That's nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. I love it when it's windy too, although not in the situation that we're in now where there's forest fires. In that case, when there's forest fires, I just want rain and no wind and no lightning. Put that in the center there. All right. Yeah, 23 is bearable, but it's like, this is warm. I can wear a t-shirt or whenever, you know. It's not ridiculously hot. It's just warmer than what you'd like to have inside. I couldn't bear the fact that these poor little circles were sitting over here by themselves. I have to put them on the page. So it sounds like Ontario is where I'd like to be at this moment. Okay. It's true, I guess. Temperature-wise, anyway. Maybe not bug-wise, although if it's breezy, maybe keep the bugs at bay. A lot of my memories of Ontario are of Northern Ontario, where there was a lot of bugs. All right. Breathe out. What's next? Let's pull out some stencils. Those circle stencils I got on the side. The stencils I have beside me here. Let's try and use the language in a way that isn't ridiculous. So these are a little bit big, but I think if we I think if I put it off the side of the page, we can get some neat shapes. Actually, you know what? I want some paper to go in between the layers here. Let me go back to my sheet. The bugs are bad. The bugs are done for the summer. Nice. That's handy. They've all punched their clocks and gone home. I can't remember what time I went to Ontario when I was 12. So before the big earthquake. And I can't remember what time of year we went. I feel like we went in the fall and there were bugs galore. We did go to North Bay, so there's plenty of bugs up there. Okay. So I want to create these larger circles of color, but I don't really want to obscure everything that's behind it. So I think what I'm going to do is mix down some paint with some gel medium. Bye, Billy, or bye Karen. See, I told you I'd try to remember, and I did. Thank you for being here. I hope you come again on another time when maybe it'll be less crazy for me on the show. But who knows? Probably not. I'm always pretty crazy. But I hope you can make it. Anyhow, thank you for being here. Oh, man, guys. Sometimes I feel like I've lost my mind. Okay. Pardon me, folks. I'm going to take some gel medium. I'm just looking at it to try and decide what color. I think maybe a... I was thinking maybe a green or blue. But the more I think about it, the more I think it should just be yellow. So let's do yellow. You live in North Bay. Not a bug around. Well, it was some time ago that I was there. You know, conditions could have changed. I've been to where you live. It was a long time ago. That's fun. It depends on where you're at as to how big the mosquitoes are. But I've seen them, I mean, obviously they're not going to be as bulky, but I've seen them as big as houseflies. Alright, guys. Can you see what I'm doing? No, nobody can see what I'm doing because I'm covering it with my hand like a crazy person. Alright, I'm just scraping this on my palette knife. Alright, yellow circle. Well, yellow portion of a circle. Complete. Let's do it on the other side too. It depends on where you're at. The mosquitoes where I'm at are not as big as that. But if you go out further into the wilderness, and it depends on how damp the area is too, like the more damp the area, the bigger. At my mom's house, and she lives like, I don't know, 10 minutes from me, and she lives in the city a little bit. She has terrible, terrible mosquitoes because she lives right above the swamp. But they're not huge, there's just so many of them. Half a liter of blood. Nice. I believe it. Ah, yes. Insatiable. I'm going to hit these with the heat tool so that we can work where they're at. I need to a tad smaller but hugely annoying. Yeah, it depends on where you're at as to what size the mosquitoes are going to be. I heard that in Saskatchewan they're as big as an eagle. No, I don't know. Well, that worked out. You can still see the stuff underneath. I'm all right with how these circles went. Like the one from Land of the Lost. Well, I haven't seen Land of the Lost, but I can imagine that it's like human size. I feel like I haven't seen Land of the Lost. Maybe I had seen it. I don't know. I've seen so many movies the past few years. It's getting confusing. Yeah, it's not the size of the mosquitoes that's really the problem. It's the quantity of mosquitoes that's the problem. If you want to call it that. I mean, maybe it's not a problem, depending on who you are. Okay, so I have another idea, and my other idea is to circle some of these areas and to mask off around that. So I'm going to take mask off. That's not what I mean. How do I explain what I mean? Oh yeah, it's too hot for the mosquitoes. I live, like where I'm at, it is too hot for the mosquitoes. Everything is dry, but like I say, where my mom lives, like 12 minutes away or whatever, she lives right by a swamp, and it is not ever usually dry in that area, even if it's hot. Okay, come on, brain. You are looking for... I'm looking for a circular. Oh, the black flies are small and they swarm in the late spring. I must have been there in the late spring because that's what I remember. I remember quantities of black flies. I was going to use a paint pen, but I've changed my mind. I've never seen a firefly in real life, so I think they must not be out west in North America either. I'm going to use a Bic Market, and I'm going to outline a circle, and then around the outline I'm going to do a thick line of like paint or something like that to sort of isolate a layer. That's funny. The mosquitoes are so bad and prevalent that even the church is questioning why their continued existence was perpetuated by Noah. It's good stuff. I think I'm going to make a bunch of these circles, and I'm going to fill in all the areas around them with some color paint. Possibly black, but possibly not black. This is one of those layered things where you're going to lose some of the stuff you put behind it, but that's okay. That's part of the charm. Part of my charm. Oh, I'm going to lose the word shuffle. That's okay. You just have to let it go. As I tell myself constantly about everything and still never remember for some reason. Anyway, enough about me. Right. Like I ever shut up about me. By the way, if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing or using or what I've done or used in other videos, you can feel free to ask. That's something I never remember to do. I never remember to ask people if they have questions. Sorry, everybody, if you have questions for never asking you about them. Your questions matter to me, friends. That's that song from Frozen, I think. I've never watched Frozen. Please don't hate me. Don't hate me because I've never watched Frozen. Hate me because I'm beautiful. No. Oh, my mind goes where the rosemary grows. Okay. This is relaxing. Guys, this is working. It's working! Circles are relaxing. That is a loaded question to ask, my friend. The loaded question is it true that Canadians are nicer than Americans? LOL. Oh. You know what I say to that? I say you have to go on individual cases. I don't think that's a good one for generalizing. I mean, the question is quite good at generalizing, but I don't know that I've got a good answer. I think we have to go on a case-by-case basis. Well, I appreciate your ticklings. Oh, I'm going to circle the word circles, guys. Woo! I don't know if you can see this part. Oh, you can't see it because my hands are in the way. And you can't see it because it's a million miles from you. Let me put it close because it's exciting. I circled the word circles. Alright, let's fill in some of the spaces in between. Oh, maybe I should make more circles. Guys, I need more circles. What's happening? I didn't do enough circles and I feel strange. I feel like there's not enough circles. Vicky's gonna hate you. Well, it could be worse. You could have said that in fact you definitively knew that one was nicer than the other. That might have been even worse. Alright, now I've got circles. Circles to the extent that I can color in. Oh, looks like Vicky had to head off. Yeah, frankly, every American that I know personally is plenty pleasant. Alright, so, oh, of course, I've got it upside down again. I'm going to fill in the spaces that are not inside of the black circles with some color of paint. What color of paint will it be? She hems and haws. Actually, maybe I need another circle over here. One more circle. Actually, I don't think I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to pop a circle on top of it. Let's do that. British jokes take longer to seep in. That's the time zone. Yeah, Americans get great deals on their craft supplies because of being in America, getting free shipping for... Oh, see, you could go to Leslie Ray's shop, for example. A friend has just opened a shop online, and you get free shipping if your order is $35 or more, but only in the States. So if you're in the States, you may want to go to Leslie Ray's shop on Amazon because she's got some really cool stuff in there. And if I were in the free shipping zone, I'd definitely, well, I'm on a, as I said earlier, I'm on a shopping break, but as soon as I was off my shopping break, if I got the free shipping, I'd for sure be all over that. I'm going to use a big brush so that we can get large sections of this. I'm going to start with the big brush to fill in the larger sections. That's what I'm trying to say. And I may switch to the smaller brush to do the not as large sections later. Oh, I've gone directly inside of the circle. But since it's a Reckitt journal, oh, I think maybe I will put a piece of paper, though, in between. I'm not going to feel bad about it. This is nothing but enjoyable and relaxing. And who cares if you get it on the line? Actually, I kind of want to cover over the line anyway, so it's not like, hey, look at this giant black line, everyone. Oh, jeez. So you're on a craft diet. I am too. I am too. And Amazon UK has increased the minimum order for free shipping. That's kind of interesting. Sort of a giant shame, really. I mean, I guess shipping companies deserve their due as well, but to me, it seems you're on a craft diet forever, from 10 pounds to 20 pounds. Oh, I get you. Pounds, that's not the same as, I mean, obviously it is weight, but also it's money. Oh, too many things. Craft diets, and then saying pounds, it really threw me off. Really threw me off. I see the price isn't doubled for free shipping. I getcha. Yeah, the old craft diet. I'm allowed to go off the craft diet if I somehow do something that brings in cash. So if any of my craftings brought in cash, then I could go buy supplies probably, you know. In the meantime, I'm going to have to make do with what I've got. Right. I'm going to have to get this small brush pretty soon because I'm getting to some narrow areas. Well, maybe I can skip the page and do some of the big areas over there while I've got this brush dirty. We might as well. And I'm going to grab my other sheet. This turquoise color is very pretty. It's a dollar store brand. Color Factory. I like it too. Obviously, as I put it over the whole page. Although I might mix another color with it now that I'm starting to run low. I mean, not that I don't have a bottle's worth, but it might be fun to add a different color to blend into it. In fact, that's exactly what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to add this blue. Paradise Blue. Just to come around the bottom. Whoops. Putting little flakes of blue paint everywhere. That's what I get for not using my paint on a regular basis. I get little chunks. Show me the French writing. Come on, focus. I know you can focus. It's the paint for crafters. La peinture pour Les artisans. You cannot read in English. Nice. French words, yeah. I just get used to seeing them. Don't even notice it anymore. Sometimes I notice it if it's something where I'm like, oh, that's the French word for such and such. Sometimes it's something that you don't normally get, or that the French word means something like there's an English word that sounds the same, and so it's funny that it's the French translation for something, or I don't know. Now you understand? You comprehend? Perfect. French. I don't usually have to think about French. I haven't had to for so many years. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. I'm focusing on blue things. Now you're getting rude in the chat. I'm not even mentioning that any more than I already just did. Alright, it's almost time. I keep saying it's almost time for that little brush, but apparently I never get the little brush. Oh, I wanted to say thank you for changing your food order. I really think that's very sweet. So that now you're starving to death just so that you could watch me paint circles, or round circles. Alright. That's enough for that. It's time for this. It's time for the little brush. Into the water that one goes. That's not a brush. Here, this is a brush. Oh dear. You know, I love you, Fad. I know you're just having fun. Oh, this is one of those things where I have to hold my tongue a certain way, apparently. One of those weird deals. Or I can't paint. Can't control a paintbrush and talk at the same time. Oh, and I thought I painted onto the inside of the circle, but I didn't. I was just part of the jelly printing. Oh goodness, yeah, no need to look that up. I mean, you can if you want to, but... And again, for those of you who are watching the video, you have to be at the live show to find out what kind of interesting things people are talking about in the chat. Sometimes they are just so interesting I can't even say. Oh, you guys. Well, if I wanted a distraction, you guys are great at being one. I love it. I wonder what kind of sentiment somebody would put on a page that's full of circles. Maybe something like what goes around comes around, or something like that. Actually, I kind of like that. Oh dear. I only know a few French swear words too, but I know the really good ones. Pardon me. I'm not saying what they are either. This is a family crafting show, let's say that. Got an image to keep up. Can't be saying swear words. Oh no, the ones I know are definitely Quebec. definitely not Parisian French. Some of the French words I know are not even French words. These are not. I'm not talking swears now, but like the Quebec word for the weekend is le weekend, and in proper French there aren't any words that start with W. Or maybe it isn't, there aren't any nouns. I don't know. Anyhow, pretty sure it's no words that start with W. Bye, Fab! Thank you for being here. Enjoy your turkey burglars, or whatever you're making. I think I am going to say what goes around comes around as my sentiment on this page if I ever get that far. Alright, now I gotta hurry because as soon as those turkey burgers are made, Vince is gonna have to leave too. It's alright, I'm getting a little bit tired already. You know, it's almost as if I got a weird night's sleep, what with being worried that everything was on fire and whatnot. Yes, yeah. Even though you're off to make turkey burgers, I would agree that it is definitely religious. The Quebec swear words, Quebec French swear words I know are definitely religious. La fin de semaine. Well, yeah, the end of the week. Le weekend, obviously. Oh well. As long as they can get their point across as to what they're saying to the people that they want to understand them, just like everybody else. As long as you can get your point across to the people you want to understand you can speak however you like. Yeah, turkey burglars are delicious. I watched somebody on YouTube called Turkey Burglars, and now I can't stop doing it. I know it's a little bit ridiculous, but it just can't stop. Good night. Good night, Fab. Enjoy making dinner and eating dinner and all that stuff. There we go. I'm holding my tongue just so to make my hand go the way I want. Oh, and now I put way too much paint on there. Oh. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. If you've made it this far, then you're doing awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here, and I really appreciate those of you who are watching on video. You guys are awesome. Doesn't it really make the circles pop? Like, it almost looks like they're sunken into the paper. I don't know. It's neat. I'm enjoying this idea too. I'm glad it worked out because it could have really looked ridiculous. But sometimes you just have to jump in with both feet with just an idea. And sometimes that turns out awesome. I think what I'll do is I'll go back through on top of these after the paint's dry and redefine the circles around them. I'll just have one little one at the bottom to finish painting around. And then I think I'm going to stop with that as my base. And like I say, I might go back after it's dry to make the circles pop out more. And I think that I am going to put the sentiment what goes around comes around, but I'm not sure if I'm going to paint that on or if I'm going to die cut letters or exactly how that's going to happen. You know what? I'm going to hit it with the heat tool and go over it with the circles with my stencil just to redefine, like I say, the outside. I think I can get that far, at least on a show, and then we'll have sort of a finished, although without a sentiment page. I should have maybe let some of the circles go off the edge of the page, but just wasn't even thinking about that. As long as it's dry enough. Oh yeah, and I do want to glue over top a couple of circles. I forgot about that. Let's glue down these two free circles. Maybe that I could put over the edge and snip off. Maybe not. Maybe that one. Thank you. I'm liking the teal myself. Oh, that one there, and then this one I won't glue the outside edge. Pay attention to where you didn't put glue, silly. And then I can cut that edge off. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to let the glue dry before I cut that edge off. And yeah, I'm just going to come back in, I think maybe with a different color. Let's go with this one. One of these permanent markers I got at the dollar store that are really juicy, and I won't mind if they get sort of gummed up. Oh, and I've gone way over my line with the teal. I don't mind if these get gummed up with paint, so I put it over the top. We're going over the top, fellas. Just to really define these. Oh, there was a puddle, a blob. A puddle, a blob. A big old slob. And I put my finger right in it. Oops, drawing on my stencil. Good thing that doesn't matter at all. Really colored well into the circles. Oh well. Like I say, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's because, oh, that circle pushed me down. It's because you get such a thick line when you outline it. All right, that's me playing in my Wreck-It journal. I hope you all take a time to relax, and you know, if crafting helps you to relax, then I hope you take the time to do that. If relaxing is what you'd like to do. I guess some of us might be relaxing too much and we need to start working. Come on, circles. There we go. I think there's an awful lot of stress in life, so if you can do something that is comfortable and relaxing, it gives you something nice to look at to finish with too. That's always a super bonus. Then I say do it. Circle, says my circle. I tried to get my camera controls so that I could pop this down and you could see it better, but you organize your supplies for relaxation. Nice. but I couldn't I couldn't get the camera controls to pop up again this time. They worked last time, but they're back to not working. I like organizing things too. I find that relaxing as well. I really like to separate out different beads of different colors. I don't know if that sounds super weird. But if I've got a tub of beads and I can separate them into colors, that makes me feel very satisfied. Oh, let's do this one too. All right. So I think this could benefit from some white work and some words, but I'm going to stop here for today. Been going for over an hour. Over an hour of yakking my face off. Like I say, this one's going to be cut off, so let's just fold it under so we can't see it. But we filled the page with circles. Oh, it's lovely to organize craft supplies. It's true. I agree with you. Speaking of organization, I'm now thinking. Oh, of course I got plenty of paint on the other side. Apparently, I'm thinking about putting white circles on top of there. So anyhow, teal's your new favorite color. Sweet. Anyhow, yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing today. That, and I'm going to put, like I say, all the supplies that I talked about earlier into a bag for quick grabbing, if need be, and if time and safety allow, obviously. I love teal too. I think that teal is super awesome. And oh yeah, that craft paint is quite thick. I mean, you can see the texture through, and even some of the color. But if I did another coat, you couldn't see that at all. But I don't mind. I don't mind. Oh, nice. You get to separate craft supplies or scrapbooking supplies for a job. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh, and thank you. Thank you. I think this turned out great, especially since I really did not know where it was going. All I knew is we needed circles. That's all I knew. Circle time. All right, gang. Again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for having fun and chatting in the chat or watching the video. If you're watching the video, I really appreciate it. Everybody stay safe out there. Oh, you're welcome, Robin. I will attempt to be back next week. Of course, I stream depending on how well I feel, so there is a huge long lag. Yes, that is true, between what I'm saying in the chat. I apologize. And when I say goodbye, it's just going to cut off too, so I will say goodbye and then leave a space. But hopefully I'll be back next week. If I'm not back next week, I'll do my best to be back the week after that. So keep on streaming, keep on crafting, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.